Hello, Sumit.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay.
We should start with the curriculum.
Shall I start the PPT?
No, Anchor will be starting up.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I'm starting. Greetings to our respected speaker, esteemed dignitaries, and all the galaxy of intellectuals. We have gathered here today to attend a webinar on this compelling topic, Vimaanashastra. On behalf of our organization, Jagadguru Shri Devanath Institute of Vedic Science and Research, Jsdivsr, I take up this golden opportunity to welcome a warm welcome to our project coordinator, Shri Anurag Deshpande, HOD Shri Shreyas Khurekar, all our members of the Board of Studies, and everyone present here. With this very first webinar, we embark upon our online webinar series set up in this calendar year based on the theme of ancient Indian wisdom. To initiate this noble cause, we have in our midst the very knowledgeable Kavya Vaddadi ma'am as our eminent speaker. She is an expert aeronautical engineer and an expert author also. She has penned down several books. Ma'am, we consider ourselves honored to have you here with us. With the blessings and guidance of our founder and patron, Param Pujya Acharya, Shri Jitendranath Maharaj, Shri Nath Pithadishwar of the Shri Devanath Mutt, Surji Anjangaon, I now invite our Ved Vidyalaya students to take up the platform for mantra recitation to mark the starting of this auspicious event.
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं
Thank you. Our country was always a hub of education for several glorious years in the past. For years, we were the ones who provided the world with new scientific advancements. Our ancestors were the backbone of engineering and of the medical world. They also carefully scripted it down systematically in several books. Then why did it happen that with time, their concepts, their acceptance became so obsolete? Why did we stop learning from our heritage and lean towards the West despite of all we had? If questions like these have ever crossed your mind too, then get ready to know the answers. At JSDIVSR, our aim and objectives are to understand and decode the actual meaning of mantras and shlokas in Vedic and other ancient literature. Here we try linking Vedic literature and establish discoveries across various domains of knowledge which are practiced today. We have deeply committed ourselves in providing our findings and our work to all the scholars pursuing research in their respective field for reference. We aim that our Vedic literature shall be treated as a reference bank and shall get reflected in a thesis. Today's generation is ignorant about the contents and holistic approach of Vedic scriptures, which is skeptical of the rich informatic heritage of it. Here we shall share all proofs that are available and give out the gist and spirit of our ancient scholars. For organizing and smoothly executing activities under JSDIVSR banner, we have our head coordinator as Pranav Girgaonkar, activity coordinator Parth Tatwadi, and Hardik Murli as the contact coordinator. To have a better look at what we exactly do, here's a short video of our organization and our work at JSDIVSR.
भारतवर्ष यह प्राचीन काल से प्रगल्भ संस्कृति एवं तेजस्वी परंपराओं के लिए जाना जाता है। यह परंपराएं मानवीय जीवन के केवल अध्यात्म और ज्ञान को ही नहीं बल्कि सामाजिक, सांस्कृतिक व आर्थिक पहलुओं को भी प्रकाशित करती है। इनमें महर्षि वेदव्यास जी जैसी वैदिक, आद्य शंकराचार्य जी जैसी आचार्य तथा जगतगुरु श्री देवनाथ जी जैसी संत एवं पुराण दर्शनों की पौराणिक दार्शनिक परंपराएं भी दिखाई देती है। इन सनातन परंपराओं के प्रत्यक्ष स्वरूप व मूलाधार है हमारे पारंपरिक ग्रंथ साहित्य, जिनका अभ्यास व चिंतन निरंतर मानव व सृष्टि से जुड़े ज्ञान विज्ञान को उजागर करता आया है। इसी अभ्यास के द्वारा विविध समस्याओं के कालोचित समाधान व संशोधन करने हेतु सुरजी अंजनगांव की दत्तपीठ परंपरा के 18वें पीठाधीश परम पूजनीय आचार्य श्री जितेंद्रनाथ जी महाराज के मार्गदर्शन में नागपुर में जगतगुरु श्री देवनाथ इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ वैदिक साइंस एंड रिसर्च की स्थापना हुई। यहाँ पर सभी स्कूली छात्राओं के लिए श्री देवनाथ गुरुकुल के माध्यम से प्राचीन विद्याओं का पठन पाठन एवं परीक्षाएं ली जाती है। विद्यालयीन व महाविद्यालयीन छात्रों के लिए स्टडी सर्कल नामक उपक्रम लिया जाता है, जहां इंजीनियरिंग, मेडिकल, मैनेजमेंट, लॉ आदि विविध शिक्षा क्षेत्रों के प्राचीन संदर्भ पर मंथन व मार्गदर्शन किया जाता है। हमारे प्राचीन ज्ञान का प्रसार व प्रचार करने हेतु विविध विषयों पर कॉन्फ्रेंसेस, सेमिनार्स व एग्जीबिशंस आयोजित किए जाते हैं। यहाँ पर निरंतर चलने वाले रिसर्च को वेबिनार्स, वर्कशॉप्स व त्रैमासिक द्वारा प्रकाशित किया जाता है। इंस्टीट्यूट में इन उपक्रमों के साथ ही कवि कुलगुरु कालिदास संस्कृत विद्यापीठ रामटेक द्वारा मान्यता प्राप्त विविध अभ्यासक्रमों का अध्यापन चलता है। कुल मिलाकर मिशन फॉर डेवलपमेंट एंड डिविनिटी ट्रस्ट द्वारा स्थापित जगतगुरु श्री देवनाथ इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ वैदिक साइंस व रिसर्च यह मात्र संशोधन संस्था ही नहीं तो भारतवर्ष को विश्वगुरु बनाने वाली युवा पीढ़ी की आज की शैक्षणिक, सामाजिक, मानसिक अवस्था का अपनी प्राचीन ज्ञान, विज्ञान, संस्कृति, सदाचार के साथ समन्वय स्थापित कराने वाली एक वैशिष्ट्यपूर्ण व समर्पित कार्य व्यवस्था है। इस संस्था से जुड़ने के लिए तथा अधिक जानकारी के लिए हमारी वेबसाइट www.jsdivsr.in को अवश्य भेंट दें। धन्यवाद।
I hope that the video gave you some insight into what our mission and plans forward are. JSDIVSR has also released a calendar in both online as well as offline mode. The hard copy, which is our combined effort with the esteemed organization VNIT Nagpur, has been sold out in huge numbers across the country. I now request our special guest for the day, Professor Niranjan Deshkar sir, to address the gathering for the inaugural speech. Sir is BE and MTech in Electrical Engineering from VRCE then, now VNIT. He is also the Associate Professor and Dean of Students Welfare Counseling at Ramdev Baba College of Engineering and Management, Nagpur. He holds over 34 years of experience. He is the Treasurer of MDD Trust, Nagpur. He is also the Senate and Management Council member of Rashtrasant Tukdoji Maharaj, Nagpur University. Sir, please.
Thank you, Aniruddha. I hope I am audible to all, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are.
नमो मातृभूमि जिथे जन्मलो मी, नमो पुण्यभूमी जिथे वाढलो मी, नमो आर्यभूमी जिये चाचकामी, पडो देह माझा सदाती नमामी. My salutations and I bow on the lotus feet of Acharya Shri Jitendranath Maharaj, our philosopher, guide and guru, who has shown us a direction in which direction we should go. It is a belief that the country will progress if the country has got a glorious history. And from that particular point of view, the Jagat Guru Shri Devanath Institute of Vedic Science and Research is marching ahead. India is a country where we have a legacy of all the knowledge. The complete knowledge is evolved out of this particular continent, which we call it as Bharat. Okay, and I'm very glad that when I heard that a webinar is going to be delivered on Vimaanashastra, aim and objective of JSDIVSR is to disseminate the ancient script, ancient knowledge, which was given by our revered sages like Aryabhatta, Charak, Shushrut, Bharadwaj, Vasishtha, Kashyap, Valmiki, Kapil, Bhaskaracharya, Patanjali, Kanad, and Varahamihira. Other than these, we have a very rich values and culture behind us. And we are part and parcel of all these sages. So, I think such type of seminars are very, very important. And we must know the history of our India. As far as the events are concerned, I consider that COVID pandemic is a boon for us. Otherwise, had it not been there, it would not have been possible for us to place in front of you a leading aeronautical engineer, Kavya Vaddadi, in front of you, who is an aeronautical engineer, researcher on ancient aeronautics. I am very much interested in this particular mechanical engineering part of it. Everybody knows that Bernoulli's law is the principle behind the aircraft. But thousands and thousands years ago, sage Bharadwaj has developed this particular and invented and discovered this principle. Way back in 1866 to 1940, I think Subbaraya Shastri started this particular part, And on the basis of his study uh, about, he has written 3,000 shlokas. Uh, and these shlokas, on the basis of these shlokas, basically all the people, they are doing some research. And amongst all the researchers, Kavya Vaddadi is the main one. She has authored books on Vimanas, wars of gods, and reverse engineering of Vedic Vimanas. Those who are attending this particular webinar, they are very fortunate and will gain information. Information will be transformed into the knowledge once you start introspecting and thinking on that particular issue. So, because of the COVID pandemic, we are aiming at delivering the webinars very frequently on scientific part and science and Vedas. There is no knowledge in the world which is not mentioned in the Vedic sciences. These Vedic sages, they have already tested the things. The only thing is documentation was not there. And the present researchers, I feel it is a challenge in front of them that these researchers, they will certainly surface out this particular knowledge for the younger generation and the bright uh, future of this particular Vedic soil, which is Bharat. Vision and mission of Mission for Development and Divinity Trust, under which JSDI is working since 2018. It is a glorious history of this particular JSDI in last 2 years. Uh, just now we have seen the video wherein it is prominently mentioned that it is recognized by Kavi Kuluguru Sanskrit University. And shortly we are going to start BA in Vedic Science, which is the milestone. Day by day we are scaling the height. And when you scale the height, okay, the speed has to be, speed and acceleration both is to be maintained constant. So my I welcome uh, Kavya Vaddadi to start uh, her lecture on Vimaanshastra. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. I now urge Parth Tatwadi to give a brief introduction about our eminent speaker today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to introduce our eminent speaker, Kavya Vaddadi ma'am. Kavya ma'am has vast research experience working as Head of Education and Awareness, Ancient Technology Division, Marks Aerospace and Marine Service Private Limited, Scientific Advisor in Vedic Research Institute, London, and Research Service Provider in Vedic Scientific Research Foundation. She completed research projects Vimana prototypes, Rukma, Sundara, Tripura, Shakuna, and Marutshak Viman designs. CFD analysis, thermal, and structural analysis. One of those prototypes is Marutshak Viman. After 3D modeling and 3D printing, it was tested in wind tunnel at California University, Irvine. Results showed good aerodynamic properties of the Vimana. Ma'am wrote two books named as Vimanas and the Wars of the Gods and Reverse Engineering Vedic Vimanas. From the plethora of achievements, some of which are for the research on Vimaanshastra, she received appreciation letters from ISRO, DRDO, NASA, and spiritual scientists. She is also called as the marvelous design engineer of Viman project, Noida, in Marvelous Records Book of India. She also featured in the famous Ancient Aliens show on History TV for her research in this field. Kavya ma'am has published several research papers such as Spiritual Coil, Nikola Tesla, and Viman, research on Rukma Viman, study of parallel universe, time travel and missing aircrafts, and many more. She has been associated with a prestigious institute and has contributed immensely. It is my absolute honor to welcome Kavya Vaddadi ma'am.
Namaste everyone. Thank you for the introduction. Let me start my PPT. Ancient Indian wisdom Vimaanshastra. In this PPT, I am going to explain how wise were these ancient ancestors. In this PPT, I am going to explain the ancient alien ancestors and then the Vimaanshastra origin, where it originated, and then the proof, what is the proof of its authenticity and all those things, and who flew the first aircraft, and then the internal experiments and future of the research on Vimaanshastra, and then the comparison with modern technology, and then the conclusion. Now, let us take a look at the ancient alien ancestors. Here at the left side in this picture, we can see Abydos temple from Egypt. So this temple has detailed carvings of aircraft, spacecraft, satellites, all those things. So we can understand that there used to live ancient ancestors who were having more advanced technology, like we are having more than which we have now. So we can see even the airship also. And at the right side, we can see UFO-like structure in the temple. And this is a famous Ravana jetpack, which is very famous in Sri Lanka. So we can see how the ancient ancestors used to use technology. And here we can see an interesting picture. Recently, I have been to a temple, Srikakulaswara Swami temple. So we can see when we have discussed with researchers, they were telling that this picture depicts, these carvings depict that ancient ancestor was is looking from the space station, and this is the window of the space station. So we can understand how we should be looking at different angles, different opinions. We should understand how advanced the ancient ancestors are. And here in this picture we can see that there are many researchers who also think that this is a spacesuit. Instead of snake, they think that these are oxygen pipes. So, and here also we can see 10,000-year-old rock paintings depicting aliens and UFOs in Chhattisgarh we found. So there are many evidences. Now let us come to Vimaanashastra origin. So in 1952, J.R. Josier has revealed the English version of Vimaanashastra. But 1500 BCE, Rig Veda belongs to that 1500 BCE. In that also there are Vimanas mentioned. So we should understand, is it in 1952 or is it some long ago? So and then Guru Shishya oral traditions. The gurus used to pass on the knowledge to their students, and then like that it used to get carried to the next generations. These all the knowledge of Vimaanashastra and all the Vedic texts. These are all for the benefit of humanity, and also they also protect the environment around us. And the awareness also is very important. Like example, how the technology will be affecting the environment. That awareness should be very important, and the research should be done, and the experimentation also. In Vimaanshastra, Maharshi Bharadwaja provides a bibliography. He had consulted six states. Means we can see there are many more books, not only Maharshi Bharadwaj. There are many other books written by many other ancient sages. We can call them scientists in modern English terms. We can refer to all these books. We need to refer. Instead, Vimaanashastra is just only one book. There are many other books which are describing the details, more details of Vimaanashastra, Vimanas. And let us see the proof of Vimaanashastra now. There are reinvented devices from Vimaanashastra by great Sanskrit and Vedic scholars. Dvanta Pramakapa Yantra. This is a spectrometer. So this has been reinvented from Vimaanashastra. And also Vakra Prasarana Yantra, it is a device which is used to make the Vimana achieve snake-like movement. Means when this device is switched on, the Vimana will be moving like a snake. And then the Chumbak Mani invented by Madhuri Sharan Ma'am. And there are many materials also which are reinvented from Brihad Vimana Shastra. So we should understand that this Brihad Vimana Shastra is not mythology or some story. It is very important. And apart from that, Nikola Tesla, who learned Sanskrit with the help of Swami Vivekananda, he had made drawings and took patents also on some inventions based on Vimanas mentioned in Vedic texts. Aerial transportation vehicle is there. He tried to make the VTOL aircraft, and then the motors, generators, dynamos, many other things are also there, which Nikola Tesla tried to take patent. And then Hitler, who was also interested in ancient technology, not only India. Hitler used to refer to all the countries, all the ancient civilizations, technology, and he is referred to our Sanskrit texts also for World War. And some of the main important things are that the deglocking. The former NASA scientist who has contacted me, he has said that there are blueprints of this deglocking, and it mentions that it has been referred, Vimaanshastra has been taken as a reference. So anti-gravity device, which is said to be the reason for time travel. So all those in teleportation also. And he also used many dangerous harmful chemicals from Vedic texts. All these chemicals and the comparisons from Viman Shastra I have mentioned in my book, Reverse Engineering Vedic Vimanas. And so there are many more to be reinvented for the benefit of humanity and modern aerospace science and technology. So we should not neglect this text. And the first aircraft by Shivkar Bapuji Talpade. Before Wright Brothers, 8 years before Wright Brothers, Shivkar Bapuji Talpade has constructed Marutsaka Vimana, and it flew to a height of 1500 feet and then fallen down to earth. The main thing is that he has written many books in Gujarati, Marathi, Bengali also maybe, and these books are still now also they are available in foreign country libraries. And only introduction part and some part I have been given to our country researchers. And I'd like to show this is one of the book translated to Hindi, and it is like means the Chivkar Bapuji Talpade's book. They have translated some part into Hindi, and it describes that he has tried to create Viman. So there are many proofs. All the proofs have been destroyed. And now let us see the ancient aircraft artifact experiment. So like creating experimental proof, there are ancient aircraft artifacts found in Colombia. So they have done the scale measurements of it. They have made its bigger size 3D model. They have fitted the propellers, motors, batteries, and all those things, and they have flown. So why shouldn't we do it for our Vimana Shastra also? Because we have the entire book with us. They had got the ancient aircraft artifact underground, but we have the entire book and detailed description with us. So why can't we do experiment? So I have done the 3D modeling of the Vimanas mentioned in Vimana Shastra, and we have tested it in California University Internal History Channel people. They have telecasted in the episode Voices of the Gods. And Travis Taylor is a aircraft aerospace systems engineer. So he himself confirmed that the internal tests are positive, and it is a good scientific experiment. It is flight worthy aerodynamic structure. So we can understand there are we can test all these Vimanas, and all are flight worthy. So we can let me tell about future research prospects. So the aircraft takeoff and landing by using air force vertically on the ground in the types of planes which are VTOL, some wings use some use wings with tilt rotors, and other like helicopter use powered rotors in modern day aircraft. So one of the Vimana mentioned in Vimaanashastra, it is Rukma Vimana. So this I am showing here. So Rukma Vimana, it is it used powered rotors with vertically long ducts as well as wing-like structures with tilt rotors at the circumference of its ground, you can see here, and which was also used for sideways movement. So there are many multiple arrangements, modifications. This is just one form of the Vimana. It will be modifying, like a transforming completely. These are used for on the earth and also in the space. So they will be, the ancient ancestors used to modify, like transform the entire Vimana into another shape also and fly. So only internal testing or only one design does not prove anything. There are many more things which modern aerospace science and technology cannot understand. So the next point, let me explain. In the entire Vimana Shastra, there I did not find anything like fuel, which mentions fuel. They used completely rechargeable fuels, rechargeable chemicals, kind of fluids. So that's what I'm telling. So 50% of the fuel can be reduced by using herbs and other eco-friendly things, which increases efficiency when we do research on Vimana Shastra. And also, no fuel is needed if new energies engines are made as per the Vedic text. There are also descriptions of engines in Vimaanashastra. If we follow step-by-step procedure, if we get all the book references, if we recreate it, then there is no need of fuel also. There are many descriptions in Vimaanashastra which say that how to extract energy from naturally, from the natural things around us. So it is necessary for the complete works on the project on Vimaanashastra, from Sanskrit translation to manufacturing. Sanskrit translation is very important because the entire Sanskrit language is a coded language, and it has lots of information. There are there are multiple meanings of the slokas. So for example, one meaning of the sloka will be explaining about manufacturing, then another meaning will be explaining about its working. So there are multiple meanings of every sloka. So when we try to decode all these things, then we can like talk the aerospace science and technology. So this results in drastic change in increasing country's economy value and technology advancement also. And modern space planes take a lot of fuel to lift their high weight bodies off the ground. So also the engines and propulsion systems are also heavy, but ancient space planes or Vimanas, they were very lightweight material because they used herbs. So when I did research in Rukma Vimana, they used Rajaloha. So that also has descriptions how the Rajaloha is made. In that there were some herbs mentioned. So we need to understand how advanced they used to be. Using such kind of herbs, it will be decreasing the weight of the entire metals. So we should do research on all such things. Even vortex generators are mentioned, and the electromagnetic anti-gravity generators, which cancel the gravity force of the earth. So you can see how advanced it is. And the vision, all ancient science and technology are green and environment friendly, which do not have pollution and all those things. The advanced 500 principles of spaceflight we should rediscover and reinvent how to use in the current world. So modern technology, we have very less principles of spaceflight. Even the sir has mentioned about Bernoulli's principle before I have started my PPT. So even the Bernoulli's principle, even Newton's three laws, even those laws also have been taken from our Vedic text. There is a sage Kannad, his name. So his texts have been, his slokas have been translated, and then there are many things which are already mentioned in our ancient Sanskrit texts by various sages. So the idea from ancient scriptures in the field of aerodynamics, materials, structures, propulsion, these all can be studied in detail with the help of professionally qualified scientists and engineers. So altogether, teamwork will be giving us best results. And prototype of Rukma Vimana can be realized. Advanced VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing technology can be studied. Especially Rukma Vimana I am mentioning because modern technology is not that much advanced as that of Vimaanashastra's descriptions of Vimanas. So, but still Rukma Vimana we can try to, in modern technology, we can try to understand or recreate Rukma Vimana. All other Vimanas are also very highly advanced, and at present our technology is not that much level. So we can discover innovative technology by interpreting ancient Sanskrit scriptures in the form of Sanskrit slokas into terms of modern science and technology. So not only the translation, even the terms, how to understand that into our modern science and technology, that also is important. So this is the roadmap major works on Vimanas which I think are important. Retranslations of Vimaanashastra chapters, interpretation of slokas into technical meanings, and then 2D drawings, 3D models, assemblies of the all the parts of the Vimanas, and then the CFD analysis, all the kinds of analysis which modern technology we use for aircraft, spacecraft, and all those things, and then the manufacturing, laboratory experimentation, and testing of the devices or materials whichever needed. And let us compare now ancient and modern aerospace science and technology. So, improvising technology, how do we improvise? Vertical takeoff and landing vehicle, launch vehicle, we can improve performance of it. By referring to Vimaanashastra, we can lower the drag force and higher the lift force for the same dimensions of the spacecraft, and lower weight. As I told previously, we can use the herbs. We have completely destroyed the nature and environment, but still, by luck, if we get any plants, etc., described in the Vimana Shastra, we can try experiment on all those things, and using herbs we can improve thrust also by modifying compositions of the propellants. Even in the propellants we can try modifying it. And modern humans have lately found gravity waves. There are gravity waves which are mentioned even in Surya Siddhanta. There is another book called Surya Siddhanta. So planets magnetic field modifications, it has described about modifying, how to modify the gravity alteration and all those things with the magnets, electromagnets in Vimana Shastra. All those things they have already mentioned. And they also mentioned increasing the sun's magnetic field onto the Vimana and decreasing that of Earth's, and then it lift off to the space. So all such ideas can be taken from ancient Sanskrit texts. We need to further investigate to get further details. So launch vehicle composite. So by using herbs mentioned in the ancient scriptures and by following the ancient manufacturing procedures, spacecraft materials can be manufactured. So this will tend to improve the strength and reduce the weight of new materials. And food for space travel, as I have said, there are many, not only one category. There are many things mentioned in Vimaanashastra, including food related. So there is another book reference, Ashna Kalpa. So principles of diet, it describes that how, what kind of diet the ancient astronauts should be using for survival in space. So by referring to these, even we can use for our modern astronauts to survive better in the space. And energy, solar energy with solar panels. So there is a description, energy extraction related. When I have been translating the shlokas, so I was shocked seeing all these things, considering all the frequencies. There are many frequencies bands from sun's energy. So the ancient device, sun crystal. Let me show the device again. So this is Rukmamana. At the top we can see there is sun crystal. So that sun crystal, it is more advanced than modern solar panels. So it can power the entire 100 feet high, 100 feet wide Vimana, which is anti-gravity craft, spacecraft. So, and when I have started studying the first few chapters, so in that there is mentioned there are several locus and regions in the space, and my interpretations, the space locations having energy fields, different types of energy fields, whose energy it is used to the space vehicles by energy extracting devices from Vimaanashastra. So I have gone through the devices, so Shakti related. There is a chapter called the power. So in that chapter there are many devices also mentioned, how to extract energies, and how what are the devices used to extract these energies. So by investigating these devices and regions of energies useful for space vehicles, we can make space travel much easier. So now modern technology, we can see how huge it will be, and like space vehicles use space propellants, solid rocket boosters, and all those things. But the ancient Vimanas, they used to extract energies from the space natural things around the Vimana. So all these regions, they used to have special devices which can extract the energies and use for the space vehicle. So implementation. So we are really one of the fortunate countries where we have the text and scripts of old technology of these flying systems. I have got mail from Egyptian research team. So they are thinking to do the research on Abydos airship, which I have shown in the first few slides of the PPT which I have showed. So there are many countries, ancient texts which they cannot get, but we are very lucky that we have Vimaanashastra, Brihad Vimaanashastra with us. So now at least we need to take a step by implementing after rediscovering our old knowledge and harnessing it. So like that, and implementing the Vimaanashastra research concepts in India in the following ways. Projects, we should take up Vedic science and technology as reference to projects for developing products useful for defense and space also. In the Vimaanashastra, there are many slokas which describe about defense, mainly about defense, and it can also be done with R&D laboratories, college laboratories also. We can involve various streams of people who know Sanskrit, science, and engineering. Involving them, we can convert ideas into products, and our ancient scriptures can be decoded mainly by aeronautical engineers engaged in the field of aerodynamics, materials, structures, propulsion, and also who have knowledge on Sanskrit language. That will be the best. Training courses, we should be educating everyone about all this, because we should not hurt the environment. And ancient Indian wisdom in Vimana Shastra, we can find how wise is the technology. The ancient aircraft or spacecraft never hurt the environment around it. So we need to share all this knowledge to all the young generation people. So we need to technically competent, like say ancient civilization, which it has no parallel in the world on date now. There is nothing to compare with it. So all the ancient Indian science and technology, it is green and environment friendly. We need to learn a lot from it and spread this knowledge to all the young minds. So the study of Vimaanashastra, it reveals that ancient aerospace vehicles are very much advanced compared to that of modern. When many foreign countries are already doing these projects, we should also take up these research projects. And space science and technology need to be advanced. That is correct only. But at the same time, we should take care of the environment environment around us, because it reflects our health also. And it should be with peace and wisdom, like it is in Vimaanashastra. There are eco-friendly fuels, herbal propellants in Vedic texts need to be focused. That is the main thing. So stronger and lighter materials are needed to be recreated from Vimaanashastra at the first preference. And for advancement of modern space science and technology, Vedic texts need to be referred and researched at least now. So these are the appreciation letters given to me by former ISRO chairman sir, former DRDL directors sir, and former NASA scientist. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Those were some really insightful facts you just shared. We consider ourselves more educated and blessed after this. We shall now begin with a brief Q&A session. The audience is free to ask their doubts regarding this topic. Please type your questions in the chat box. Meanwhile, we have received some of the questions here, ma'am. The first one is from Piyush Birangi from Germany. He asks that what should be our direction of study to research more in this subject? Like, what should be the path that we must follow?
Yeah, firstly, the translated version, English version is completely like not even 50%. Vimaanashastra translation. So we need to start with the translation first. So or else we should try to understand the diagrams if there is no time for studying Sanskrit or learning. The first thing is like translating these texts and trying to understand it in modern technology, aerospace engineering. So that is the first step we need to take, because it has very large information, very abundant information, knowledge. Every sloka has multiple meanings, minimum 3 meanings, each describing the material manufacturing, or the secondly like working of the device. So there are multiple meanings of every shloka. We need to decode all this. It is a completely coded language.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. The next question is asked by Sushil. Sushil asks that how come flights used to fly if no fuel was needed, and if engines are made using the new technology, will no fuel be needed in them?
Yes, obviously, as we have seen in modern days, there was an aircraft which used only solar panels. It flew to a longer distance, a great distance. So we should try to decode these devices like solar panels. It is very less advanced, but as I have told in this Rukma Vimana sun crystal, so that is much more advanced. It can power the entire spacecraft. So now in modern technology, they have used solar panel to run the aircraft for long distances. But there is this sun crystal can power the entire spacecraft for all its missions. And the electromagnetic generators which have been mentioned in Vimaanashastra. So when we decode all these devices, obviously there is no need of fuel also.
That is great. Ma'am, the next question is from Aditya Kavre. He's from Pune. He asks that where exactly can I get ancient Sanskrit texts like Bharadwaj Samhita about the Vimaanashastra?
Yeah, it will be available in the library. There are, or else scanned copies can be available in the internet.
Okay. Are there any questions? Okay, we have a few over here. The next one is, are there any details on what was the aim behind these ancient space travels? Like, why did they travel to space and what was achieved? This is asked by Mr. Prashant Bhargav.
Okay, so in our ancient stories, the histories, I mean, there are many descriptions of lokas. So there are many more civilizations living in other planets also. So in one of the description, it is mentioned that Lord Rama is king for several lokas. So what does it mean? We should try to understand it in scientific manner. Means the avatars of Vishnu, and lokas means there are different solar system. There are many other planets also. So we should understand that there are more civilizations living in other worlds also. There are more universes, more galaxies. So there are more civilizations living in other places also. In modern days, they call it UFOs, unidentified flying objects, but we don't know if they are Vimanas or UFOs. So that is what we should understand. In modern terms, they have completely modified the terms and all these things, but mainly ancient space travel, there are many stories also describing about Pushpaka Vimana. So that only we should try to understand that there are other civilizations or the same civilizations living in other planets.
Okay. I really found this question very interesting, the one which you answered right now. The next one is asked by where is he? Okay, there are quite a few. I'm just getting confused. Again by Sushi, he asks that why do we prominently hear only about Pushpak Viman and why it is that all went downhill from then? How come it was never picked up and from there by other illusionists, other illustrious kings, emperors after Ravana? Like, why was it the epitome?
Yeah, that is the famous one because there is Ramayana text available with us, and there is a description of Pushpaka Vimana. So that is why that is famous. For example, this Rukma Vimana, if there was a king who has used it and some other stories, if there was a book available with us, then that would also be famous. But Pushpaka Vimana is famous, became famous because one of the avatar of Vishnu was there in the yeah, that century, like Rama. He was there in the story, so that is why that is famous. So and this is a Vimana, Shakuna Vimana. So Shakuna is a famous one of the famous person in our ancient texts also. So we there are some other Vimanas also, but Pushpaka is famous because of Lord Rama. He is an avatar of Vishnu, and Ravana used this Pushpaka Vimana.
Okay. Ma'am, Srinath Pandey asks that what kind of herbs were used to increase the efficiency of propellant and can we use them now in this era?
Yes, we can obviously use them, but
And where are they
let me tell.
found? Where are they found?
Yeah, let me explain. I have done research on this Rajaloha. I have found this herb Lodra plant. So when I have googled it and searched when I have contacted some researchers also, so it may be available near Himalayas. So there are some many plants which are some plants are not even identified now. There are in Ayurveda. Main problem is that the terms are not used now. So we need to go to another text, Ayurveda. So we need to refer to those texts also. Ayurvedic experts we need to refer and find out all these herbs. I don't know about propellants. I did not do that much research in propellants, but in manufacturing materials, Rajaloha Lodra plant that it is available near Himalayas.
Okay. Ma'am, Pratik Karmarkar here asks that are the dome of the temple in especially in southern India related to Vimaanashastra as they are also known as Viman of a temple.
Yes, that is a called, yes, that temple top that is called Vimana. Yes, there might be some correlation. We should go to archaeology again. So that is what we should understand. There are the Vimana at the top of the temple, and inside the temple, the god statue, ancient ancestor, who could also be going to another planet. So we should decode again with teamwork with the archaeology people. So this all everything needs a teamwork.
Okay. Ma'am, the next one is from Dr. Balchandra Hardas. He asks that are you going for commercial production of Vedic flying machines or Viman in near future?
We did
Or
not
like
even.
is the industry?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, ma'am. Our commercialization of Vedic flying machines is there a possibility for it in near future? Like are steps being taken?
Yes, if our India, if our Indian government or if any private organization in our country, if they can recreate any of the devices or any of the materials and the spacecraft, ancient Vimanas, obviously it will be the best space vehicle. And foreigners have already been doing research. Former NASA scientists contacted me, and they have been telling that Hitler used D Glock. The references are Vimaanashastra. So all those things are there. There are still our books in their foreign country libraries. I think we should start at least now to reach that level. And I think our country people will understand more things better.
Okay. Ma'am, the next one is as you have confirmed, encouraging results from the wind tunnel. What is stopping us from building a life scale model of it?
Okay, let me explain. See, this is the Vimana model which has been wind tunnel tested. So this is very small scale. This is so advanced that it can travel underwater like a submarine. So like a submarine, this bottom part, this is a submarine, and at the top, this is just a cut section. This is not the original design. We have done the cut section in order to see the inside parts of the Vimana, the generator, the motor, and all these things. This is actually an airship also. It is also a submarine, and also it travels on land. It has landing gears, kind of wheels, kind of thing. The main thing is this is just one form of the Vimana. Means one form of the Vimana. There are many more things to do research on it and to like create its prototype. Prototype is not that much possible because this is more advanced than the small scale one. Even there is a person, Enrico. He has been contacting me from several weeks. So they have done drones based on getting inspired from Ramayana. So we can see in the news also there they have done drones based on Ramayana. So he has some ideas to do its prototype. So we can see how other countries and other, it is not religion. So here only we should be understanding this is not a religion, this is just science and technology. Even foreign countries, some other people, everyone is after this only. So there are many people who are doing already doing research. So it is time for our country now to do research on this and do its prototypes. There are many foreign country people who have been doing there is a company, Vimana drone something. I have seen it, and these propellers we can see at the end of the wing like structures. So they have taken this concept of Rukma Vimana and they have developed drones based on this. So there are many people who take inspiration of our Vedic Vimanas and manufacture drones of flying vehicles. So it is we can also do such like that.
Thank you, ma'am. And rightly said that scientific advancement should not have religious boundaries. And due to this limited time span, we shall end the Q&A session here. Thank you for your time, ma'am. I now urge Mr. Pranav Girgaonkar, our head coordinator, to propose a vote of thanks.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Myself Pranav Girgaonkar and I am here to present vote of thanks for today's webinar. I would like to thank you our guest speaker Mrs. Kavya Vaddadi ma'am for taking time from her busy schedule for us and enlightening us with such a rich knowledge. It's just mind-boggling, where should we start? It right from the cave arts, right from the origins to Bharadwaj Rishi's bibliography, to the mind-boggling realization that spectrometers did exist then, and to the artifact experimenting. To the conflict of today, we are not able to find good energy density fuels. But then there was no fuel actually, or the Vimans would used to run on herbs, or as deep research as principles of diet in space. It was just mind-boggling. I would also like to thank you, madam, for the effort she had given to bring this knowledge to people's attention. Because proudly I can say that Western technology is all good, but we Indians did it way before it was cool. I so thank you so much, ma'am, for enlightening us. I would also like to thank you, Param Pujya Acharya Shri Jitendranath Ji Maharaj, who has been a beacon of light for us and who has guided the institute throughout all. Thank you, sir, so much. I am also thankful to Shri Anurag Ji Deshpande, who is the project coordinator, and Shreyas Ji Kurekar, who is the head of the Nagpur Institute, who are guiding us through all, uh, and also the board of studies members. Though it's a webinar, it can't be done in one day. So therefore, I would like to thank activity coordinator Path Tatwadi, also contact coordinator Hardik Murle, and Anirudh. Thank you for such great comparing, and to the social media team, to the technical team, and to all the members of the team. Thank you so much. It was a great event. Also, last but not the least, thank you to all the viewers for such a great participation. I was just wondered by the questions also. The questions were so great actually, and thank you for the participation. We will be doing such webinars for the next 11 months. This was the first month, so for the next 11 months, once every month we will be doing this. And you can follow us on all the social media sites. We have given description in we have given all the links in the description box of Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more knowledgeable videos. And also there is a description of Google Forms in the link, because we are giving out e-certificates. So don't forget to get your e-certificate and share it on your social media platform, so that the institute and the society can mutually benefit from the knowledge. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much.